There is one reason why I still use Twitter, and that is the discovery of insanely creative and fun games that I wouldn't have even heard of otherwise. Without that, I would leave that dumpster fire of a website right now. I've talked before about previous games that I've found through there, and today's game is another shining example of what indie devs have to offer. Echo Point Nova is an upcoming indie FPS based in fast-paced fights and mobility. I suppose it feels different to various people. I've seen some compare it to Ultrakill, but to me, it feels like a reimagination of Titanfall, but of course, without the Titans. I say upcoming because it isn't out yet, and as of this video, the demo will only be live for another week or so. This video and my thoughts all come from said demo, which I played over and over again. I consider it a good sign when I come to the end of the demo and feel absolutely hungry for more. That said, I would assume that anything and everything is subject to change, but I really hope all the awesome shit that's already there sticks. So let's talk about said awesome shit. Right off the bat, I knew I was gonna enjoy this. You know how those weirdo foodies talk about shit like mouthfeel? I'm kinda like that, but with game feel. I can't exactly describe it, but if I'm going to really enjoy a game, it needs to feel really good. Meaning, the movement has to be well put together, guns need to feel impactful and not annoying, and it just has to have it. It's part of why I get so particular with what FPS games I play, which is not a lot, and why when I tried Fortnite again recently, I had a lot of fun, because it felt good to play. You start with a small tutorial section where you get the pistol, SMG, and double jump. The guns feel great, and aren't loaded with ridiculous and stupid amounts of recoil, so your shots stay quite accurate even in quick succession. Actually, I'm going to take a second and complain about recoil in games. Most modern shooters that have ridiculous amounts of recoil on their guns as a balancing measure drive me insane. I'm already bad enough at aiming, I don't need you to make it even more complicated, thank you. Anyway, not only do all the guns feel good, they look and sound great as well. I've said this before on the channel, but sound design is extremely important when it comes to weapons. In the demo there are 5 guns you can unlock: the pistol, SMG, shotgun, assault rifle, and sniper rifle. They're pretty standard as far as weapons go, but let's be real. For one, how special can you really make the basic weapons of war? And for 2, do we even need to? The models are in a low poly style, and pretty simplistic, but damn do they have some nice textures on them. The same can be said for the rest of the game. The majority of the game is built from cuboid objects with flat textures on them, but the lighting interacts so well with everything that it looks gorgeous regardless. But again, like I've said so many times in these videos, I'm not here for 4K textures and 1 trillion polygon models. I'm here for crunchy, juicy, delicious gameplay. The movement is the moneymaker here. Double jump, grapples, a hoverboard. Just 3 mechanics put together in the perfect way gives the best movement experience I've had in an FPS. You heard me right, the best. Meaning it beats out games I love, like Titanfall 2 and Ultrakill. For me, what drops Ultrakill is that it doesn't have a double jump, and Titanfall has kinda limited wall running and sliding. To be honest, in the first 2 minutes I was slightly worried because I was not able to slide, and everybody knows a good movement shooter needs a slide ability. And that is where the hoverboard comes in. This one power-up equates to your slide and your wall run in the form of grind. And as far as I can tell, it's infinite and doesn't require a running start. In fact, it is faster than walking and actually boosts your airspeed if you time your jumps right. You can also ram your enemies with it, which never ceases to be hilarious. But then, if you combine it with the grapple, you can zip around the map popping enemies like you're a fucking god. By default, the grapple can be shot once per jump and reloads when you hit the ground, and possibly when you grind on a wall with a hoverboard, I'm not certain. But what makes this grapple so great is the direction you're pulled in isn't based on the position of the end, it's based on where you're looking, so it can easily be used as a slingshot to cover large distances and close gaps. I also use it a lot to save myself because I tend to fall off the map a lot. In the demo, there are 3 distinct enemy types. There's a basic foot soldier, a guy that can spawn jump pads and moves a bit faster, and one that has a one-way shield bubble. The enemy balancing in the arenas is really well done, and I don't feel as though I'm being overwhelmed by one enemy type at any given time. In fact, I found the game to be surprisingly easy on the normal difficulty. I died a couple times, but overall I pretty much obliterated all of my opposition. For context, on the Ultrakill normal mode, I have a lot more trouble a lot more of the time. Although this demo didn't have any boss fights, which makes me a bit sad. I sure would have loved to see one and to test my mettle against it, but oh well. There'll definitely be bosses in the full game though, so I'll just look forward to that. Another little neat thing that I enjoy in Echo Point Nova is that there is a perk and leveling system. Before you get scared, it's not like a full RPG, many perk tree and grindathon type thing. Throughout the game, if you explore, you can find perk chips that allow you to unlock various upgrades to your character, including things just like more ammo, a ground pound, more grapples in one jump, and a triple jump. Thing is, at least in the demo, this is completely optional as you can totally get by with just the basic movement and abilities. Speaking of, there are a couple special abilities you unlock that help you interact with the mostly destructible world. It seems like pretty much all walls and artificial structures are breakable. The grounds for the most part aren't, and I assume this is the case so you can't softlock yourself out of the rest of the game. Bullets will impact and damage stuff, which is cool, but you really get the most out of the destruction with the sledgehammer and the fireball. The sledgehammer acts as a melee weapon, and a way to kind of pave your own way through the levels. You can find alternate routes to the main areas and use the hammer to break out holes and take the enemy NPCs by surprise. It also seems to be an insta-kill if you use it right as a melee weapon, but it is difficult to get right. The fireball also deals a lot of damage to the environment, though its explosion also has a wider area of effect attack on enemies, as well as some significant knockback, which is really good for crowd control. The third ability is different in that it's more for movement rather than destruction. Just like that second enemy type, this ability allows you to spawn a jump pad wherever you're pointing. It's very useful to get a boost for a long or a high jump, but honestly, with the double grapple, I end up barely using it. The music is also phenomenal. It's nice and fast-paced for combat encounters and arenas, and makes you really just feel awesome. Again, sound design is immensely important, and music is a part of that. It makes me really happy to know that so many developers understand that so well. And, well, that's really it. I don't have anything negative to say, really, except that the UI feels very placeholder, but I imagine that will be improved upon much for the full game. As of this video coming out, the demo should be live for another week or so, and I'll link the game page in the description. The full game is said to be coming out later this year, so fingers crossed, and I'll be doing a full review of that when it does. I'll also be checking out the studio's previous game, Severed Steel, soon. So yeah, thank you for watching, leave a like if you want to, and check out my other videos. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time.